Right, guys. Sorry for the little interlude there. There's been some gremlins in the system again, and it always seems to happen on the wrong time, the wrong day. But anyhow, yeah, we're back again with a MOBAY GOONER,
Oh,
and we were
yes,
talking
yes.
about Ramsey and the contract situation, and would we keep him or sell him to? Well, obviously sell him to a Premiership team. And MOBAY was saying, well, we don't have any kind of control of where Aaron Ramsey is going to end up. So what I was asking you is, obviously now we know that he's going to be leaving Arsenal. Who could you see would be his potential replacement? Because my argument has always been that we need to blood these youngsters, and we saw the match last night. For me, Emil Smith Rowe yeah, the performance was wicked. Man, run all
Hmm.
over the place, and got
Definitely.
his first goal for Arsenal. So, but what do you think? Who do you think could be like an ideal replacement for Aaron Ramsey?
For me, I think we have better needs in this team than to replace him with a like for like midfielder. I think we have plenty of players that can play in this position already. Like you just mentioned, Smith Rowe as a youngster coming in. We obviously got Ozil that playing that number 10 role. Mkhitaryan, but we've been using him on the right hand side. He preferred to be in the middle also. So I think if he leaves, I think we definitely need to bring a winger in, preferably a right sided or left sided winger. It don't even matter at this minute. We just need some kind of wing play coming out the team. You look at a player right now, look at the starting lineup right now. I would play Awobi on the right hand side over Aaron Ramsey and put Ozil in that middle. But I think we can fix his position from within the club. We have players coming through. Let's not forget I know he got injured in the first game of the season, but
Mm-hmm.
Maitland Niles is there. The manager thinks highly of him, and I think he's one of those players that he can play in that two that sit in the base of midfield and let somebody else go forward. So, the variation of the formation that we play in midfield, I think it's easy to replace him in the middle. I think where we need to strengthen is we need to get a winger in this club, an out and out winger, somebody that's going to hug that touch line and give us a little bit of wit. Somebody that can free up Aubameyang a little bit because I think he's a little bit lost on that left hand side that he is right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing his best, but that's not his position. He's just, like I said, Emery's just trying to fit his best players in the team. If we have somebody on the right that can spread the play, then he can come in off the left and get a little bit closer to Lacazette up front, and then he'll be a little bit better. But with the system that we're playing right now, he's the one that have to be trying to bring the width and staying out there wide. And we know Ramsey's not going to stay there. When Ozil play there, he doesn't either. They all want to come inside. So I think that's the
Mm.
problem. If he wants to leave, I think we can. I think we can replace him with a winger. Within the midfield, we don't need to bring a midfielder in. I don't think.
No, no. I mean, one of my favorite players of the season so far has been Lucas Torreira, my little
Hmm.
general man,
Hmm.
little fighter in the midfield there, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
definitely needed.
one player for me who's kind of stepped up to the plate. I think Bellerin has done very very well so far. Bellerin could
Yeah,
be the winger that we've been missing with the right coaching. He's not a defender. We've been saying that for how many years? But for me, Bellerin over the last 2 to 3 games, he could be that winger that we've been crying out for. What,
the
what, do, what do you
problem.
think about Bellerin, man?
The problem with Bellerin to push him a little bit further forward and playing at the right
Uh-oh.
wing position. He's quick,
Uh-oh.
but he still need to work on his crossing. We see his crossing is a little bit off. I can see a similar situation to Bellerin as we had with Walcott. Walcott was there. He was a winger. He we know he can do it, but it's just the fact of when you're a right back player, you get the ball, you're running into everybody. You have option. You're overlapping. When you're playing a right wing, it's a whole different story. You have to make those runs. You have to know when to come inside. You have to know when to go outside. And I don't think Bellerin is ready for that right now. I must say, I think he is defending better than he started the season. The past two
Mm.
or three games, I think he's had quite solid games to be honest, and I think that's has a lot to
Okay.
do with the protection that he's getting now
Yeah.
from Ramsey playing on that right side and Ozil doing a lot more work than he usually do. And I think just Torreira coming in that midfield has made this whole team just look more solid defensively, and I gotta love it. But I just don't think our Bellerin is the answer for us playing on that right wing position. I think he need to stay where he's at right back, do his job, and if he's not good enough to do that, I think he need to go on the bench. To be honest. Yeah.
I hear that.
Oh yeah, that's his job. He's a right back. I want him to stay there. Him and Lichtstein is need to fight for that spot. I don't want Bellerin nowhere up front. It's crossing, man. Every now and again he will pick out a good one, but most of the time it's a hit or miss. You never know what he's going to do, and I do not want to play
Yeah,
like that up
yeah.
front. You know, no, definitely not.
But again, I think I think Bellerin is one of their most improved players this season. Again,
Mm-hmm.
he's not the finished article yet, but no, we've got to give him props, man. He's had not a bad season. He's been all right.
Yes,
But
yes. It's the
we need
first
players
three
who
or
are going to
four
be better than
games.
all right. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah,
First 3 or 4 games, he was pretty. He was getting found out defensively, but after that, I think he had a little talking to, and you can see he is not overlapping as much. I think he's taking a good page out of Monreal book because if somebody know how to play that wingback position, it's Monreal. When to get forward, when to defend, and if he can just calm it down and don't get caught up the field so much. And I think that's what he's been doing the past couple of games, just picking his runs right. And I'm very happy with him right now. Hard to get him out of the team right now, to be honest.
yeah. Okay, all right. So last night we saw Arsenal play their second match in the Europa League against Karabag FK out there in Azerbaijan, and Mube, I've got to say, the first half, Arsenal had me on tender hooks, man. You know what? Like I said, I did say that Arsenal must not underestimate this team because they held Atletico Madrid 1-1. You
Hmm.
know, they're a good
Twice.
outfit twice.
Hmm.
They're a good team. They're an excellent team, and I think we were very, very lucky because they broke the lines, the midfield line, and our defense more than one occasion. So personally, it was a really good result. And one thing I realized about Unai Emery was his in-game management. That he realized the three at the back wasn't working. He brought in my man Torreira, and we went back to a back four. But
Hmm.
what are your thoughts on the match last night, man, with Karabag FK?
Yeah, we got the early goal, but that just masked the problem that we was having early in the game. I think the formation didn't help. I just think we're playing three at the back. We was a man short in midfield. Karabag was obviously playing that 4-3-3 system, so they had an extra man in that midfield, and with Nani in there with just Guendouzi, I doesn't think that was working. We was getting outnumbered in midfield. They was pretty much doing what they wanted, and once we switched it at halftime and switched it to a back four and got three players in midfield, Torreira, Guendouzi, and El Nene, you could see that we got control of the game because we had the numbers in there to match them up. Our players are better than theirs. But because we were getting outnumbered in midfield, that's the most important part of the game. It's the midfield. You win that midfield battle, you can win the game. And we was losing it in the first half, and I think that was a problem. Also, you look
Yeah,
at the players that's coming back from injury, like Kolasinac, he was over there. I think he had a poor game, to be honest. Going forward, he was pretty good, but defensively, he was getting caught on the ball time and time again. Everything
yeah,
was really coming down from his side, and it was a poor game from him. But once we switched back to a back four, players look more comfortable. You can see it.
yeah. You're right. I mean, I did kind of realize that Kolasinac, and again, you can't blame him because he's just coming back from a long-term injury. But
Hmm.
I thought under the circumstances, he did quite well. But you know what? My star player of last night definitely was Alex Iwobi, man. Alex
Yes,
Iwobi for me, yeah, just run them guys ragged, man, all over the place. And he's one player
yes,
who's definitely has improved under Unai Emery. You wouldn't have seen that performance if it was Arsene Wenger. I mean, I don't know what
no,
Unai Emery is doing with these players, but Alex Iwobi for me, he's kind of switched on now, And
yeah.
the performance last night for me was outstanding, outstanding.
You can
And
see it. You can see it.
of
He's
course,
playing. He's playing with this freedom that that look like the manager give him this freedom to him just go out there and try stuff. You see him taking players on. Usually he's playing and he gets the ball and he dally in it for a little bit and pass it back in the middle to another player. He's not doing that now. Once he built up a head of steam, he knows exactly what he's doing. And whether he lose the ball, whether he cross it and hit the first man, it doesn't really matter because he's getting in those positions. And time again, we can see it. He's playing one too. Last night, you could see him. He just looked like one of the most experienced players out there playing. He looked like he was the go-to guy. No matter who was on the field, when he gets the ball, he know what he has to do, and he was taking up the back. He was running with it. So I definitely got to give him credit, man. He's a different player this year, and he's one of those players that a lot of fans are
different
talking
player.
that he need to be in the starting 11. I'm with him on that one.
Yeah, but what are your thoughts about the goalkeeper situation? I mean, I know Petrak is injured. He's going to be out, I think, for 3 to 4 weeks. But would you have liked to have seen Bern Leno start the season, or were you happy with Petr being in there?
I think we all wanted to see Berliner start the season. I don't think you're not gonna find us if you find a single Arsenal fan after last season what we saw from Petr to say that they was happy with Petr starting this season. He had a good preseason, so
He
people
did.
started changing their mind in preseason because he played most of the game because Leno came in late. But he had a good preseason. But if you was to look at last season, the Petr that we had last season, um, nobody would have said that they was happy with him starting. So he came in and just give him credit. He had a problem with the kicking in the first couple of games, first 3, 4
Yeah.
games, and he still have a problem now, but he's getting better with it. He's a goalkeeper. He's doing his keeping duties fine. I remember the game against Chelsea. He saved us a lot of times. Manchester City, he saved a lot, make a
He
lot of
did.
good save, and he had a solid season. And I think it was the patience of Leno. I'm very impressed with that because he come in as a goalkeeper, you expect to start. This big money move from the German league. You come in, but he just held his head, bide his time, and now is his time. He needs
Yeah,
to
man.
take it with two hands. And for performance like last night, if he keeps that up, there's no way you can take him out of goal.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, I definitely want to see more of Leno, man. But you're right. He being a professional, he kind of realized, I have to bide my time. I have to wait. And lo and behold, his time has come now, and he's taken the opportunity with both hands, man. Pardon the pun.
Definitely, definitely.
He's done a really good. And the thing is, as well, it's like for me, I have more confidence when I see Leno in goal than
Hmm.
Petr Cech. I feel more
Yep.
confident that there's not going to be any mishaps, no foolishness there. When Leno in goal for me, he spreads the confidence, man. For me,
It's for
I
sure. It's
don't.
for sure. The style of play that we're playing right now, it suits him a lot better.
Yeah,
I think we're seeing the future right now. This is what goalkeepers are going to be asked to do. It's all over the league. You see Chelsea goalkeeper, De Gea at Man United. They're all pretty good with their feet, and I think it's just the future. We're going to have to move on. Let's see. Petr is getting up there in age. He's probably have another season or two in him, but we're kind of seeing the future at Arsenal right now with Leno and Martinez as his backup. I think he's a very good goalkeeper
really good
too, and
goalkeeper.
this Petacek injury, I think I'm more excited for him because if Petacek was to be out for a month, then Martinez will have those games where he's playing in the Carabao Cup, he's playing in the Europa League, so he's going to get a chance also. So it's a chance for these two keepers to really nail it down and show Unai Emery that don't worry about Petacek. You have two quality goalkeeper here to take his spots for sure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man, absolutely. But we're gonna take a quick break. What I'm gonna say is, anyone who's watching the live stream now or maybe at a later date, make sure you sign to MOBAY GOONER.
Definitely,
Absolutely wicked
definitely.
channel. So, guys, again, who's ever watching, make sure you sign up. All right. So, a quick time for a competition, and this is going out to whoever's watching the live stream now. Who was the youngest Arsenal player under the Arsene Wenger era? Who was the youngest player that Arsene Wenger signed in his reign as the Arsenal manager? Do you know who was the youngest player? Do you know who was the youngest player?
That's a tough one. 'Cause, Wenger. Let's give him credit. He did pull out some gems, but that's a tough one. You go back to Fabregas. I think he came in when he was what 15. You have Bellerin came in when he was 14 or 15. It's a couple players that he signed. Some that he signed behind closed door that we didn't even know about until they started flourishing in the
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
academy. So
yeah,
that's a really tough one.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can't give you an answer on that one.
All
No.
right, no worries. So listen, I'll actually announce who the first, well, the top three youngest players who were the youngest players under Arsene Wenger. But for the time being, let's continue the discussion. Yeah. So for you, which player so far? I mean, I know the season is still young, but which player for you has kind of shone for you? Which one player have you been really impressed with?
To be honest, I'm gonna go off, and I did my season preview before the season started, and I looked at a couple players and I say I hope these players have big season. But one player that has shocked me with the quality that he's bring to this team, and it's Socrates. Um, I think he's been consistent this whole season. Every game you see him. Yes, he made the odd mistake here and there, but he looks quality. He looks like that defender that we have missed for so long, and for him to look that good playing beside Mustafi, I mean, not Mustafi, but Mustafi do make a lot of mistakes and needs a lot of covering because he do gets out there and get beats easily, and I think Socrates has been doing a good job of covering in defense for him. Cannot blame him for that, man. I think he's been quality coming in, and I'm very happy with that. Also, we can say Torreira, of course, he really changed the dynamic of the team coming in, but
Mhm.
he missed pretty much the first half of the games that we are playing already. He's been coming in at halftime. We see that he makes us better. He's what we have needed for years. He's
Mhm.
coming and he's just doing what he needs to do. He's just cleaning up, spreading the ball, getting in position. I think he's just going to get better. So those two new signings for me definitely have shown. That I think they're
Mhm.
just what we've been missing. And I think if Leno had started in goal, he would have been one of those players that we would have been talking about also.
Absolutely, absolutely. But you know what? For me, I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. For me, I think Lacazette for me
Yes.
has been the man of the moment, man. The
Hmm.
man of the moment. I mean, apart from doing his job, which is scoring goals, his hold up play, hustling to try and get the ball back,
Yes.
coming deep, trying to help the defense. He has been so far the man of the moment. I feel
Definitely.
I don't feel bad, but I mean I know Aubameyang he feels uncomfortable playing on the wing because he's not a winger. But
Nope.
man of the moment for me is Alexander Lacazette, man.
Yeah, he's
I
been
could
he's
go for
been he's been
Torreira.
he's been good.
Yeah, 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 absolutely. So yeah, Lacazette, Torreira, and we spoke before about Alex Iwobi. Those three players. I mean, I could have probably
Yeah.
put Guendouzi in there, but my top three players: Lacazette, Torreira, my midfield general, and Alex Iwobi, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a
Yeah,
shadow of a
definitely. I
doubt.
think I think I think I think you got to give Lacazette credit too because he started the season on the bench and he could have easily lost his head and say he wants to leave and but he didn't do that. He's working harder. He looks more fitter. I remember last season Wenger said that he had an injury he was playing with, and then he missed. Remember he missed a month or so. He missed a couple of months with that injury out last season, and this season he just looked to be fit. He never stops running. He always closing down the play, building this thing in the team that's defending from the front. Something we used to see at the clubs that were playing this pressing game. We all know that Barcelona team with the Messi and Iniesta and Xavi. That's the team that really started this pressing game, and we see how well they did it. Everybody played a part. Messi was closing players down. They had this 5 second rule where they had to get the ball back, and I
Yeah,
think this is the mentality that we are bringing into this team now, and we just need players that are going to give us that fight. I think that's the reason why Ramsey is still in the starting lineup because he's a player that actually do that. He actually works hard. He actually close players down. He gets up and down the pitch. The problem with Ramsey is his discipline sometimes don't allow him to play in his favorite position. Ramsey is a box to box player. He should be playing next to Torreira, but the coach can't trust him to do it. We see what happened last season with him and Granit Xhaka. We was wide open in midfield. We got skinned time and time again in midfield because of that. So I think it's definitely something we got to take a look at. But like you say, man, Lacazette, he's been sensational this season. Every game, he's either getting a goal or an assist. You can't ask for more than that.
Yeah. Actually, he's been my man of the moment, man. Lacazette, man. But yes. So that's it. So you know what? So let's get back to the competition. And I was actually surprised when I kind of did a little delve in. So the youngest player to play under Arsene Wenger was actually Jack Wilshere at the age of 16 years and 256 days. His first match for Arsenal was 2008. And then the second youngest, I was surprised, Serge Gnabry, age 17. And then third, the name that sounds more familiar to me is Cesc Fabregas, age 17 and 103 days. So those were the three youngest players.
Quality players.
Absolutely.
Don't forget Fabregas. When Fabregas came in this team, he came in and went straight to the first team. Like, he wasn't a bit part player. He was playing big minutes with big players,
Yep. Yeah, Ruby, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Cut out there. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Oh, I think, yeah. Okay, we're back. Yeah, I'm here. But you know what? It's like Cesc Fabregas still gets booed when he plays at Arsenal. And what the fan base have to realize is that Arsene Wenger had the choice to re-sign Cesc Fabregas, and he didn't take up the opportunity. So it's not Ces's fault that we didn't choose to re-sign him. It's Arsene Wenger's fault. So
I'm gonna go with Arsene Wenger. I'm gonna go with Wenger on this one. The way he left us, there was a reason for that. It's the way he left us. The constant for over 2 seasons, him and this Barcelona DNA, and he go to Barcelona, gets his dream move, he go there, win La Liga. Didn't work out for him. I mean, he was a bit part player. He thought he was going to go there and get in that midfield. That was never going to happen with Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets. They was the main three in that midfield. So he went there and see that the grass wasn't greener on the other side. Something that Ramsey should be looking at, because that's what's going to happen to him too.
Ruby, you're too harsh in him, man. You're too harsh.
No,
you're too harsh, man.
no. Fabregas is a Judas. Him, Van Persie, Clichy, Adebayor. I don't want none of them at my club. They can all do one for me. No.
hey, don't mention them names on the channel.
Yeah. Oh
anyway,
yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna wrap up I'm gonna wrap up the live stream. But you know what, MOBAY? It's been an absolute pleasure finally to get you on the channel. I know that the difference in the hours out there, but you know what? Again, say hello to your mom from us.
Definitely.
Listen, we're gonna do a collaboration, man. Definitely, we're gonna do a collaboration together.
Yeah.
Say hello to your folks out there, and thanks for coming on the show. Sorry about the technical problems that we've had so far on the live stream.
No, man, I enjoyed it.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, but guys, listen, again, whoever's watching the live stream now or at a later date, make sure you subscribe to MOBAY GOONER.
Yeah, same name, same everything on all platforms. Yeah? Okay. Something on Twitter.
So
everything.
This is nice one. So anyway, this is Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over the world, in association with MOBAY GOONER, and we are out.
Peace.